Hi there. It's Halloween, so happy Halloween. And I'm at home and checking out the garden, and I thought, oh, I haven't done a garden update in a while, so I'm going to do that. We're going to walk around the garden, and I can show you our Halloween graveyard and just see what it looks like. Fall is kind of coming to a close. We've got a lot of trees that are nearly lost all their leaves or have lost all their leaves, and there's a lot of fun fall color, so I just wanted to share that with you and share our graveyard in the front yard before we take it down, probably in the next couple of days. We had a storm come through last weekend, so things are, there's leaves everywhere. We haven't done any cleanup. We had a little Halloween gathering last night, and we were so in the moment, having so much fun with friends, that we didn't take one single photo or one single video. I actually even asked one of my friends today, like, hey, could you send me some photos of like some really cool food and stuff that we did? So if she gets that back to me before this video goes up, I'll throw up some of those photos too, just to show you like what we did. We did a vampire theme this year. I always do a theme on my Halloween gatherings, and they're always really small and intimate, like 5 to 10 people. This year there were 6 of us, so it's really nice and just, hanging out with friends, celebrating Halloween, and yeah. So let's go take a tour in the garden. Alright, so this is coming off of my back porch here into the backyard. And you can see some beautiful fall color on this Japanese maple. It's like so close to the color of my house, I didn't even realize how close it was until this year. I think it got more red this year. In previous years, I think it was more orange. So the way that fall foliage works is the intensity of the sun that the plants get. And so, I can't remember if they need more sun to be more orange or more sun to be more red, but I do know that the temperature and the amount of sun they receive is determines the colors that you see. And of course, it's further along in the season, so there's going to be more red. And these are blueberries, which is half the reason I got blueberries, because of the fall foliage. Just really intense, really beautiful fall foliage color. You could see them here. Look at that. Just gorgeous. And then the calendula is still blooming back there. If you could see any of the orange and yellow flowers, they're all calendula. We just let them self-seed. You can see that the vegetable bed has been pretty much stripped. These 2 cabbages need to be removed, or I guess there's 3 full heads, but then that one over there is just, it's not going to become anything, so we just need to pull them up. And then you can also see some Kaffir lilies right here. They're just in mass bloom this year, which is super fun. And I think that's kind of all that's going on. You can see a birch tree, the yellow up in there is got some fall foliage. The lilacs are starting to lose all of their leaves, and the annuals are starting to go away. You can see over here we had super petunias in here that got really nice and big, and they were looking pretty good. The plant still looks actually really good, so I might try to just cut it down and see if I can overwinter it, because our winters are sometimes really mild. So I might kind of play with that, but it's definitely, done flowering now. The butterfly garden is, it's got a lot of seed heads happening. but not so much foliage or flowers. We do have the Autumn Joy Sedum, which that is so gorgeous. Well, there's a whole bunch of pine needles on it, but just beautiful, beautiful fall color on those sedums, which is kind of nice at this time of year. Everything else is just sort of either evergreens or they're just done. And then we'll take a walk up to the front yard and I will show you what's going on there. And you can see that the pond is still looking pretty good. There's mostly evergreen. There's, you know, the carex in here. But the wisteria has gone down. And the baskets above there are at the end of their season. And we'll just keep going. This is the front yard. We're gonna actually come all the way out to the front of the front yard. And you see this elderberry, it's still got tons of leaves on it, but the elderberry back here, the lemony lace elderberry, has lost all of its leaves. There's just like a little remnant left right here. It's not much of anything. Just kind of interesting that one would keep it and the other doesn't. This one is a little bit more protected though, so we'll see what it does. You can see we have some ghosts up in the privet. Got tangled up in the storm. And we've just got like a little graveyard stashed in the garden. Some homemade headstones and crosses and a little gate. Wow. I have this barberry that has got fall color on it, and it's not quite so spectacular yet because it's still baby, but it will be really fun eventually. I still have some dahlias blooming. This is the Dragonberry, and I can't remember the name of this one, but I'll put it up on the screen. And I think that's all of them in this area. And the black-eyed Susans are done, but the seed heads just create such great fall and winter interest that I just leave them up. And then we have a Lady Liberty dahlia that finally bloomed. She's beautiful. I mean, look at the structure on that thing. It's so cool. I love it. It's like a lion's mane. And then we have our bone fencing. It lights up at night. And then of course the weeping cherry has just gorgeous fall color this year. Absolutely beautiful. And we've got some more Kaffir Lilies blooming down there. And then the staghorn has lost all of its leaves. It still has some cones left. They're little this year still. And there's a little bit on the baby staghorns. These are seedlings that came off, and you can see their leaves are barely hanging on. But it did have some really great fall color. I will put that up on the screen if I find a photo of that tree. I'm not sure if I took one or not. And then this pineapple sage is blooming. It just started blooming this week, And I mean, it's like, can't tell from the pictures, but it's about 5 feet tall, maybe a little taller, and gorgeous. And the blooms are beautiful, and I'm loving these blooms. And of course it smells super good. You know, it smells like pineapple. It's actually, it smells like candied bananas, the like little candies that you used to get out of vending machines that were banana shaped. And they had like other fruits too, but the banana specifically, it smells like that candy tasted, if that makes any sense to you. And then we have these mums are super fun. They're just like full and prolific. I mean, they're looking a little tattered and tired because the storm just wrecked them. But as far as mums go, with these like multi heads at the tips of them, and they're so big, I'm in love with it. It's really cool. This mum overwintered, so I'm really happy that hopefully we'll get it to overwinter again and just keep enjoying them. We have these mums, and this is more typical. They're little, and they're also at the end of their season, but that's kind of more typical style of mum that we get around here. And then I have these ones also at the end, but one of my favorites just because of the contrast, really pretty. The Edgeworthia has got all of its blooms showing up, and pretty soon it will lose all of its leaves and it'll leave these blossoms, and then they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they have this wonderful, almost like Daphne smell. Really fun winter blooming shrub. Then we have these lilies. Look how interesting it is inside there. All of those anthers and pistils, just really beautiful, really beautiful. And then we have these Osteospermum. They bloomed early in the summer and then just sat here, and now they're all blooming again. It's like, okay, it's fall and they're blooming. This one's really cool. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful contrast. So that's kind of all that's going on. One of these is blooming. I'll have to find, Spencer showed me that one of these hellebores were blooming, but I don't know which one it was. So maybe I'll just pop that picture up on the screen intermixed in this video, because I don't know where they were. Spencer has a knee injury, so he's not out here helping me today. He's resting up and hopefully healing. The ice plant is also got a little bloom on it, which is odd because that's like a heat-loving plant. So whatever it's doing. This is the rhododendron here. It's got some fall color on it. It's one of the few rhododendrons that are deciduous, so this will lose all of its leaves and come back in the spring. And we always look forward to rhodies coming back. And we have another nice fall color there. Dogwood's got a little bit of fall color. This dogwood had great fall color, but she's done. She's gonna lose those leaves any minute now. The medicine garden is just crazy prolific again. You saw in a video not too long ago where I cut all this back. It's twice the size. And look at these nasturtiums, you guys. These are nasturtiums from last year in my flower baskets up there on the porch. And they dropped their seeds, and oh my gosh, they've just taken over. It's just like, wow. They're all the way back in here. But it's been really fun to see. So I don't mind. I can hang out. Then we have This weeping birch also has some nice fall color, if you could see that. Again, just coming to the end of the fall season. And I can't wait for it to be much bigger so we could really see it like do its thing. We just planted this oak leaf hydrangea a couple weeks ago. It has fabulous fall color. Again, we're getting to the end, but I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's just like on fire. It's so beautiful. So excited to have this in the garden. We've been wanting one for quite some time, and we lost our last one, so I'm hoping that this one's a little bit bigger and hopefully more established at this point, that it'll last through the summer, through the winter. The Gunnera got huge, as you can see, this plant here. And it's all splayed out because, again, this plant goes all the way down to the ground and comes back in the spring. So it's pretty cool. I mean, no, you could see how huge this thing is. Like, here's my foot in comparison. Maybe I'll get a piece of paper out here and show the difference between when it first came out and now. The waterfall is pretty much done. Of course, we have all the evergreen sword ferns still going. We have some persistent blooms dangling on those. What is that called? Himalayan honeysuckle. Look at those blooms. Super fun. Super fun. I mean, they don't have the color that they do in the summer, but I love that they're persistent and just kind of like hang there and look pretty. And the spirea has full fall color, nice and bright in here. And the Escallonia is an evergreen, done blooming. There's not much to see there. You can see the lilac is much more yellow on this side where it gets more sun than it does on the other side. And then our little baby roses are blooming, if you could see them up there. I don't know. I don't think there's really anything else to look at this point. I think it looks like my plum still has some fall color on it. Let's go look at that. So we'll go over here to down by the creek and check out the plum. Oh gosh, guys, look at this beautiful fall color. Oh my gosh, I just love these reds. They're just so beautiful. Just lovely. Lovely, lovely. And not much going on with the creek. It is flowing more so than normal. In the summer it's nearly dried up, and it's, it hasn't rained a ton, but it's rained enough for the water to be flowing. And hopefully next year our big summer project is going to be all about restoration, and we will be or creek restoration, and we'll be cleaning that up and exposing more of the creek so it flows better and creates more habitat for more critters. We have lots of salamanders. I'd like to know that their homes are good and safe and available to them. One more thing I wanted to share. This Pompous Grass got dug up from my daddy's house and transplanted over here. And this bloom is probably like 12 feet tall. And really fun, really fun. It's one of Spencer's favorite plants is these Pompous Grass. So I'm glad to see, because this is the other clump and it didn't bloom this year, so you know, hopefully it'll catch up next year. The rest of this is the kind of like grass garden, and it's just a little overgrown and not much going on at this point. The Forsythia has nice fall color, but it's so little. It's just this piece that doesn't like really stand out with all the greenery and branching and stuff behind it. But in future years, when it's taller, it should get probably like this tall compared to this tall, like 2 to 3 times bigger, and then it'll really show off the color then. So that's about it. That wraps up the fall garden tour. Still plenty of, you know, beautiful structure left, but the you know, there's not a whole lot of things blooming. Well, we're going into winter, but look, those are so cute. Oh my gosh. I've never grown those before, so I didn't know they bloomed like so late in the season, so that's really fun. And then one last thing I wanted to share, because I saw it from the road, is you can see our smoke bush right there. It's so beautiful and bright red and you know, purples and reds, and it's just gorgeous. So go up on the porch and see. Also, can you see my baskets? They probably look better right now than they did all summer long, just full. Anyways, look at that fall color. Oh my gosh. Again, just beautiful fire. Let's see. What else? Look at this basket. So fun. And these fuchsias are loving this cooler weather. Yeah, nice. Really nice. Even the super petunias are like hanging on for a little while longer. And I had to pull this guy off its hanger because the storm knocked it over. It still looks okay, but it knocked off the hanger thing, so I have to reinstall that. And then we have boxes of pears and apples, and we're about to do some canning this week, so I'm excited about that. So that finishes up our fall tour, and I'm glad to have shared it with you and showed you the garden for the fall. This is my favorite time of year. I love the weather. I love the colors of the fall. I love tucking all the plants into bed and saying goodnight and knowing that, you know, really looking forward to the following spring. This is the time of dreaming. We go in deep and we get to just like dream about what we want our future to look like in the garden. And it's such a blessing and a privilege to be here to do that. And to be in this garden and just to be alive and doing it. So this time of year just brings all of that to me, and I wanted to share that with you. I noticed as I was coming back here, we still have snapdragons wanting to bloom. I mean, these are in full bloom. Beautiful. They even have like a little bit of a fall color with this orangey yellow throat. And then I was noticing that we have some green hellebores blooming right there, and I was gonna look over and see if the white hellebore that Spencer sent me a picture of is in this garden. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find a, you know, these first blooms are like often inside of the plant, There's so much insulation from the maple. I don't see it. I don't know where it is. But I'm also noticing the, what are those called? Those are in bloom. I always forget what they're called. I'll put the name on the screen. That's a nice big patch of them right there. Look at that. It's like full patch. We have a cross there with the dog tags on it. You see that? That was for our puppy. Well, he was an old man dog, but he always acted like a puppy, and his name was Jack, and he passed away 2 years ago now. And so 2, maybe 3 years ago. I'll have to, let's see. I think it's been 3 years actually now. Maybe it's just been 2.5. Anyways, that's for Jack. That's in memory of our dog Jack. And it's always nice. That's always there. That's not part of the like Halloween cemetery deal. So sometimes the raspberries get a little bit of fall color, but not so much this year. This whole garden is getting completely revamped next summer or next spring, so that's going to be an exciting project to share with you. It'll be coming up pretty soon. I ordered a bunch of bulbs, and we're going to share the process of planting the bulbs with you. And everything else is kind of just getting buttoned up and put to bed.